In this video, I'm gonna share the method which I believe is the best way to finish up your tracks. By creating the educational content and working with many people and trying to help as many as you as possible, I realized that the biggest problem to the most of the producers is how to finish their tracks. All of us, we like to play around with music. We all love to create beats, and to play around and just to jam and enjoy, because this is such a meditative process and also it's super relaxing. And once we are dealing with the sounds, it's super interactive and we do not think much about other things, and we all have the problems in our lives. So the music is kind of escape from the real life. So once we start doing it, it's really, really enjoyable, and basically we just love doing it. But working around and playing and jamming around is not the same as finishing up the tracks, because just playing around, the process by itself is really good and we all enjoying that. While if we want to finish our tracks, we need to make some final decisions, we need to start mixing it, and also there is a kind of responsibility, so it's not easy for all of us to finish up our tracks. In my case, I never had that problem because I was like super ambitious and my first goal was to finish up the tracks, and then by the time I start enjoying the process as well, and also got in love with the sound design. So I realized that a lot of people have a problem with a bunch of unfinished projects and people are getting confused how to finish their tracks. So after thinking about it for some time, I realized that there's a really good method, and I know that not many of you will agree with this method, but this method is basically made for all of you who are having a problem to finish your tracks. So I don't think that what you're gonna see in this video is a good as a technique for making the music and building up your career, but I believe it's a really good as a training or the process in which you can learn how to finish your tracks. So, to finish your tracks, you need to have knowledge about many things, and I'm guessing that there is something that's missing from this process, some knowledge that you might need in order to finish your tracks. This is why I believe that learning from other people, which work you already like, can actually help you to learn and extract some knowledge from it. So this method is basically built for you to learn how the track can be structured, what you need to have inside of it, and how you can proceed and how you can have your first tracks done. So if I had this problem, I would definitely start with the drum template, and I would use a drum template because I have it already done in some of my previous tracks. If you don't have it, you can buy or you can find any drum templates. I will also create a bunch of them in the near future. I already have one on my website. So when you drop the kick inside your project, you choose the BPM and then you create a bass line, you will already start to mix them. But the problem is that we are mixing only the kick and the bass while we do not have any other sounds in our project, so we cannot do it as it will sound at the end of the track. So once you add another hi-hat, once you add the snare, you will always get back on the kick or the bass line and start modifying. And when you continue making more and more sounds, you will always get back. At least I was always getting back to the kick and the bass and trying to finish them. And then I realized once I have all the elements inside of my tracks, like all the melodies, single shot sounds, this is where my ear basically have the right reference and I know exactly how to mix them, how to level them, and how to balance the whole track. So instead of putting the kick in and then mixing it every time you drop the new element in, this technique will definitely lead you to like over-listening, to the confusion. So instead of that, what I'm doing lately is I'm importing already made or already mixed drum template that I already made in previous tracks, and I will use that as just as a tool to build up my track. And once I finish the track, I will definitely go back and change them, because I really do not like to reuse, especially the whole drum template. Maybe I will keep, sometimes I will keep the kick, maybe sometimes I will keep the bass line. I will definitely change the hi-hats, maybe I will keep the kick hi-hat because it's really hard to find them. Anyway, I will customize the drum template in order just to sound differently from the previous tracks. Maybe I will pitch the kick, maybe I will add one more layer to the kick, but I will use it as a reference because I will have the drums ready from the beginning and I won't spend any time in mixing them because they will sound already good enough, and I will start straight away. After a few clicks, I will just import the drum template and maybe noises and some risers whatsoever, which I can reuse or I can modify or even change later on, and I will have already something that's going to be really, really good to listen to. So in this track, I will use just this one. There's a bunch of different, as you can see, there's a bunch of different kick and bass channels inside of here, drums, perks, impacts, and this is it. So single shot sounds and everything else, I will not import in this track and I will use just that. So once I do this and once I have all of them, okay, these are all empty projects, I will delete them, this I will not need, and etc, etc. So I will find the moment of a track. I will need to choose the BPM definitely, and for this case I will use 143, but this track is in 138, sorry, so I will need to go here and then I will kind of extract all the single shots like this, okay, because I do not want to stretch them, as by stretching the drum elements we will definitely destroy at least a little bit of the transient, and this is something that I really don't want. For the other sounds, it's really okay to stretch them, but when it comes for the drums, I will not. So I will delete all of this. I don't need it. I just need 8 bars of the full drum loop because I do not want to copy the drum elements and also the arrangement from the same track. So what I'm going to do, okay, I'm just gonna get rid of, I will only need like 8 bars of each channel. Okay, this and that, and all of them I will put in the same project whatsoever. So I'm just gonna build and keep 8 of them, and I will cut on each 16th of each of those hi-hats, and then I'll put a small fade down. Okay, so I'll need something like this. Okay, if you are working in Ableton, then you can do the same thing just through the sampler track and whatsoever. So I'm just gonna spend time in sorting this out, and I'm just gonna keep like the 8 bars, so kick in the bass and so I will definitely change the key. Let's say I will go to E, and I will play around now with these drum templates. I will try to create a different groove. And now after I quantize all of them like this, and after I have these 8 bars, then I will definitely change the BPM. I want to do something in 143, for example. And I already did this, so I will just fast forward. I just wanted to show you the method. So once you have all drum elements into the 8 bars, you can delete everything else from the track. So the next thing I will do, I will import some tracks that I like, any tracks that you like, and I will try to copy the drums arrangement. So in order to finish up your tracks, I guess that most of you are confused like how to do the arrangement. So this is something that we can extract from one of the tracks, and then you can definitely, once you start having the melodies whatsoever, you're gonna start feeling the track and you will change that arrangement a little bit here and that, or you can change it for a big amount. But this is something that I believe can be really good for you to analyze. So once you have the drum template done, we'll continue in making the single shot sounds and creating the story. So I will spend now time a little bit to sort out and to make this project to be a little bit better organized. So I already did this previously to make this video way faster. So after some time spending around all of it, I changed the BPM to 143 and I chose the D sharp. I have already the drum template inside of it. So everything is ready. Now it's time to move to the arrangement, and I will import the track right now. So I have now the reference track, which I will use to copy the drum arrangement. So what I will do over here, I will put the kick and bass over here, and then I will extract. So it's kick and bass, kick and bass, kick and bass. I already know how to do this because I already did it. So I didn't do it correctly. So I'm sorry. So I'm gonna move this over here, here. Okay, here the kick and bass are going through this point, kick and bass, right? I'm gonna move it over here and then extract it, right? And then kick and bass are gonna go and fade out over here. So I will copy also the automations of the filters. Simple on filter, let me see how it sounds here. So I will add this kick and bass on the filter right here. Okay, something like this, right. Okay, and then I'll see, so they will go something like this and like that, and they will go a little bit like this. So something like this, and then I will turn off the filter after it because this where the kick and bass are gonna start, and then I know that the closed hi-hat is going from this point, from the second one. Then we have the hi-hats and everything and the snare from this point, right? And then something like this, and then in this point it's gonna go everything together, just will not go the open hat and this one and that's like that. So you can listen to your reference track and just copy the drum arrangement, where is the hi-hat is going, when it's starting, when the snare is starting, when open hat is starting, when the rest of the elements are starting. So this is how you can copy the drums arrangement. I do not want to copy the whole track. For me now just the arrangement of the drums because I want to extract that. All right, so from this point, and I know already that, no, not these ones, okay, but these ones are going here, okay. Actually, yes, now the right can go from this point, something like this, to add more dynamics to it. So let's say fast hi-hat, something like this, right, and then I don't know, loop can go at the end, the snare also can start here. So I'm extracting the drums arrangement, blah, blah, blah. And for this part, I will say that, let's say that it's a full-on track, so everything's going to be starting like this. And this is already good enough. I have already the drums ready. So now I can delete from this part because in the beginning, I don't need anything. And now straight away, I can start adding my single shot sounds. So I will definitely open the Omnisphere Serum. Okay, Serum is there because in Serum, I design almost everything that I need. I use many different VSTs, but I guess the Serum is the easiest one for all of you, or Vital. It's the same. I just prefer more Serum because I bought it a long time ago, before Vital even came out, so it doesn't really matter. But open everything, and I will definitely open the Splice and Loop Cloud, and I'm gonna use all of that, trying to build the same story, build the intro straight away. Now, this method is good because after having all this done until this point, we're gonna start building the track from the beginning. So intro, I'll try to drop the drone. I can design the drone straight away. You just need unison like this, and then like I can add a hyper dimension to it. I can add chorus. So this is something that I can start using, and then I can... It really doesn't matter, but I will definitely extend this drone until to be long at 1 minute. So I will stretch it until here and choose the... And maybe if you want, you can add a delay or whatever, you can just play around with it. And then I will go through Omnisphere, I will go through Loop Cloud as well. Loop Cloud, I will open the Splice as well, because I'm using the Splice and Loop Cloud as well. And I like both of them. They have a different cloud systems, they have a different samples. So some of them, the Splice is better for something, the Loop Cloud for something else. It really doesn't matter. I will try both of them and try to find the best samples for my music, for single shot sounds, then play around. So this is the moment when I'm gonna start jamming around with the single shot sounds and everything. But I will have already the plan how the track should look like. And now I don't need this track anymore. So I will just hide it over here. I can keep it inside the project, and I will start to build up the track. So I know that I will have a certain lead inside before this 33rd bar. Then I'll have a pure groove going on. I will definitely create something like, let's say, Serum tension builder. So I will do something like this. Okay, or here. Okay, I will use, definitely will use the FM for this. Right, now FM. Something like that. Right, then I will definitely go through here, open the resonance. I will go to FX, not hyper distortion, all the way on top. Okay, something like that, and then I will use some kind of riff, like just not, okay, just not in that. Okay, maybe like this, and then one longer note. So I will use something like that, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So any type of the riff, and I know that I will make certain tension builder. I will definitely put some delay on it, and I really love Echo Boy lately and many others, but for now, let's stay with the Echo Boy. And what I will do also, I will put maybe a flanger, because this is really popular and I really love how it sounds. And in Cubase we can use manual flanger and then automate. Which you already saw, I have a video about that as well. Anyway, so I know I will have something like that inside of my track. I will also definitely modulate the cutoff. So I will start dropping the bunch of the files that I will know that I will use for sure. I also saved all of them. This is just to speed up the whole process, but I have this sweep noise that I use almost in every track because it is just the sweep, it's just noise. Okay, so something like that. Also, this is one clap. I just used one clap. There's a clap, it goes reverse, then two claps, ta-ta-ta-ta. It sounds something like... So I can even make that a little bit better sounding. So something like... And then if I have the third one, I will definitely use a different... And I automated the reverb here, then it starts only when the last one is hit, like... I can use also the same if I want delay, so to have a delay also on the last hit only, but in general it sounds. And I also already imported the drums that are. So this is from Splice. I just typed in the cinematic big drums. And I will definitely work around now on the single shot sound. So I have the drums, I have a lot of material to work with, and I will just fast forward this in order to show you. And if you follow all of my videos, then you know that I already made this track for the purposes of the course. So what I did, I just reversed the whole process. I did import the drum template, but I didn't copy any arrangement because I already had this track. So what you saw just a minute ago, all this track, it was actually this track, which I already did. And let's say that I spent over here, as you can see, I had many of these. So what I did, I had the intro ARP inside of here. So I worked with the... So the moment came in after I made like single shot sounds. So for example, so what I have over here, I have one from Omnisphere, and I also kept all the names of the presets, which are, where did I find them? This is maybe too loud, okay? No, my actually fader was too loud. This is one sample, another is going. And also they are like compressed, everything is here. And then I had this drone from Serum, which I already made. All right, and then I have a bunch of other samples as well. Also from Omnisphere, from Splice. As you can see, there are different types and different categories. This one, actually, I really don't like how it sounds on this place, so I will mute it and try to keep. Again, another one. Then I made some in Serum also. I have also... This one also I created in Serum. This one is something like this. So I'm using the Serum. So I use the Serum. I also use the Silent. I tried to create something, but I still didn't manage to do it. So I created the ARP. I have this booster. I have some of distorted stabs, like... Okay, so I have this FM step, and I have also one small melody over here. But in general, I was just playing around. But let's say that I was referencing this from some other track. I would exactly know in which moment I will need to have melody, in which moment everything needs to happen. So maybe you can use some track that you like, whatever track is that you like. Just try to do on the same position something that you would like to do. So if there's a melody, short melody like do-do-do-do, then maybe you can create it, but just do it differently, do different type of the sound whatsoever. But with this process, you will be able to hear exactly where you will need to place each element. And from doing this, you will actually learn what is exactly that you were missing and what was the moment that made you not to finish your tracks. So maybe you have a problem with this or that, and then you will know exactly on which part of building your tracks you will need to work on in order to start finishing. But stretching out through the whole track, have already the skeleton or like the drums for the whole track, it will actually help you. So I came up to the half of the track. This is way more than a half of the track, but when it comes for the time, it's like half of the track. And then after this moment, I know that I will build like the last part, and I will definitely change these drums that I just extended over here, just copy them there, but I will decide how I will end up. Maybe I will change the groove, maybe I will do something else. But now only after 2 sessions, I already have almost finished track, and I just need to sort out the last part of the track to decide what I will do. And if I don't know, maybe I will listen to someone else's track and like, okay, this is a nice idea, maybe I can do that. Trying that, maybe it won't work, maybe I can try something else, but I will have at least the first version of the finished track in less than a month. And then I will keep it definitely in a freeze, as I like to say, and decide what I will change, and then will I look for the vocal samples or not. Maybe my analysis will tell me that I will need more organic sounds or more this or that. It really depends. But this will be only working on the details, and then I will maybe go to change the kick and the bass, which I already did. As if you want, you can rewind this video at the beginning and you can hear the kick and bass from Higher Reality, how they sound and how they sound right now. So they are not even close to each other. This is more clicky, way less bass. The kick is changed, the kick's hi-hat changed. I added this ride, which is different open hat. I also added this fast hi-hat to speed up a track a little bit. So even though I used the drum template, I changed it completely. The kick is the same only. Maybe I will change it. So far it sounds so good, and I don't think it will need to be replaced. It really fits in a D sharp and whatsoever. So that would be my best method that I could come up to in order to help all of you who cannot finish your tracks. Of course, if you want to learn more, the Psychedelic Tips Vol 3 is basically building the whole track, doing all the single shots, everything, and it's recorded in 22 hours, so you can see the full process inside of it. I wish I could do something for the YouTube, something similar like that, but it's just way too much work, and I need, in order to explain the build-up of the whole track, this is the best way I could find to fit in one video, which is already 35 minutes long. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon with another video. Bye.